We also have this weird biological idea based on our own limitations that there's a birth and a death of everything. If you're lucky, you get to 100 years. I'm 51. I'm halfway there, right? If I'm lucky, if everything works out perfect. And it probably isn't. Let's be honest. I beat the shit out of my body, right? You're going to live forever? You're going to be happy living forever?
What you call as my body is just a bit of loan that you have taken from Mother Earth, just a piece of the planet. She is pretty generous with the loan, but when the time comes, she wants to collect it atom by atom. See, now I hold this pebble in my hand.
Yeah.
Initially I say, this is my pebble, I'm not willing to give it to you. After some time, I start thinking, this is me. Now when the time comes that anyway this pebble is going to be taken from me, I am being terrorized because I am being taken away. You are not being taken away. Only the food that you gathered, the piece of planet that you gathered in the form of this body, the planet is asking it back. If only you were aware this is only something I've accumulated, not intellectually. Every moment if you are constantly aware that I am not this body, this is just mine, all right. This is just a gathering. I've accumulated this, I'll use it, and when it's necessary, I'll drop it. If this awareness was there all the time in your life, death would be just change of clothes, isn't it? It's actually more simple than that.
Like, what if when you die, it's amazing? What if when you die, there really is a heaven? You really do go to some spectacular dimension filled with love and peace and happiness, and there's no emotions like we think about here. There's no fear. There's none of the things that hold people back, none of the anxiety and the angst. It's just consciousness and love.
So what happens after? Okay, I paid back the loan. The question is only willingly or unwillingly, but whichever way, the loan gets taken. Your body, as you know it, physical body, has to go to the earth because it belongs to the earth. But there is a subtler body which is like a scaffolding. Only because a subtle body is there as a scaffolding, you can build this gross body. You eat a banana, it becomes body, you eat a piece of bread, it becomes body, you eat a brinjal, it becomes body, because there is a subtler scaffolding. This body that you see, the physical body, is only gathering around the subtler body. So when this body falls, the subtle body, which is generally referred to as etheric body or whatever else, is still on. It still has some information, but the important difference is, when you had a physical body and a conscious mind, you had a discriminatory capability. So once the body falls down along with your thinking mind, logical mind, and a discriminatory aspect of the mind is fallen, there is no more discrimination. You only happen by tendencies. So still there are certain tendencies. Why so much care in every culture, particularly in this culture, that at the moment of death, if a man is dying, no matter what your relationship with him, you try to utter the God's name or you try to create the right kind of atmosphere for him. Even if he's your enemy, you say Ram, Nam, Satya, whatever, you know, whatever simple things have been taught to the people, but something to create awareness and pleasantness around him because you want him to leave well. Because at the moment of leaving, in case he is in a certain mode, whatever the mode is, let's say he's in fear mode right now. Now once he loses the discriminatory mind, now there is no control over the fear. See, many times fear arises in your life. Because of your discriminatory mind, you'll say, that's okay, but that it's not like this. You'll reason and try to get out of it. If there is no discriminatory mind, it just snowballs into paranoia. Paranoia not like as living human beings know. Paranoia which grows into a million, billion folds because there's complete absence of discriminatory mind. But suppose you create pleasantness at that moment of death, now this pleasantness also multiplies into a millionfold over because there is no discriminatory mind. Whether it's sweetness or bitterness, pleasantness or unpleasantness, all of this can take on a big proportion if only there is no discriminatory mind. So even when people are living, very little of their discriminatory mind they're using, mostly they're functioning by tendency, which is unfortunate. But once you've shed the body, there is no other way. You will only go by tendency. Unless you've reached a certain level of awareness where you can carry a certain dimension of awareness with you. Otherwise, whatever is your quality will snowball into something very big. If it snowballs into unpleasantness, we say he's in hell. If it snowballs into pleasantness, we say he's in heaven. So heaven and hell are not geographical places. It is a state that somebody gets into.
I'm not an atheist. I don't know. Like, I don't believe anybody that says they know what life is or what life means or what happens when you die. I want to hear your opinions. I want to hear your thoughts, but you don't know. And anybody that says they know what happens when they die, I know what happens when I die. It'll be black and cold, and that is the end. And just like there was nothing before, there'll be nothing at the end. And like, you don't know that. We are strange little monkey people living on this fucking planet, making things that alter our environment, moving around, driving, flying, talking to each other, talking shit. But at the end of the day, you're only aware of what you've experienced.